Hi, hello all. Hope everyone is doing well. So today we'll discuss about the integration studio in Outsystems. Right. So basically, integration studio is an desktop tool which we can use to create and integrate your extensions with Outsystems Service Studio. So here you can create the functionalities which are not inside the Outsystems using Visual Studio and using C# as an programming language, and you can fetch those functionality in your environment. So what are the steps and how we can perform them with the help of Integration Studio and Visual Studio along with our personal environment in OutSystems Service Studio that we'll see step by step now, right? So first of all, after opening the Integration Studio, it will ask for connection of Integration Studio with your OutSystems Service Studio. So that I will show. So first of all, I need to close this window. Let me close it and let me open it again. Just wait a minute. Just wait for 2 minutes. Let me open it. Mm, Service Studio okay, and Integration Studio. So it is opening. So here you can see that no logged in. It is written at the right bottom corner. That means we need to connect it with our personal environment first of all. So for that, you will simply click on this connect to environment tab and it will ask for the path of the OutSystems personal environment or whatever your environment is. We give it again immediately it will ask for username and passwords. I will entering I will enter my username and password. So it will connect to your environment or my environment basically. So it is connected successfully. After that, what you have to do, you have to click on file and then new or simply click on this logo. It will, so by both the ways you can create new extensions. So at first stage, we have to create a new extension. So for this extension, I am giving a name as addition, ADDITION addition 3. So after creation of addition 3 extension, I need to save it using this save button or using Control plus S shortcut. So you can save your extension in any folder on your system. In C drive, in D drive, E drive, wherever you want, you can save it. So I have created one extension folder on my desktop and saving it with the name as addition 3 for that extension. Saved it. After saving it, what you have to do is you have to verify it, verify and save it and publish it. So sequentially, you can go all these things and with all these tabs or step by step. So first of all, let me tell you that for publishing and everything, you should have updated version or recent version of the Visual Studio along with 4.6.1 as an .NET framework with your system. So if .NET framework is the recent one, that is 4.8.1 or earlier, your code will not work over there. Keep in mind. So you should have 4.6.1 strictly. So let me click on verify. So it will give some warning. Just click on yes. So it is verifying and updating. So all these 6 stages will be done over here at this stage. So compilation and all is done. Then it is asking for save. I have clicked on save. Then upload. After uploading, it will ask for publish. Yes, it is asking now publish. It is publishing my extension and publishing done. After that, what I have to do is simply click on close and click on edit source code in .NET or edit source code.net. Click on it again, it will do 3 4 steps and simply it will jump to Visual Studio. Right. If everything is correct, everything means you should have .NET Framework 4.6.1. Keep in mind. So after opening the Visual Studio, your addition 3 extension is at your right side of your screen. So just click on this arrow and search for addition 3.cs. So your addition 3.cs is here. Double click on it. It will open the code of that CS. So this CS is nothing but the C sharp file. So whatever the functionality which you are going to implement with the extension using Integration Studio, you have to write it using C sharp as an programming language. Keep in mind. So using C sharp programming language, you can write the code in VS or Visual Studio. So as we are using Visual Studio, we will go with the C sharp. You can integrate your Integration Studio with Eclipse also, and you can write the code in Java. So here, with respect to Visual Studio, we'll go with the C sharp. So we need to write the function of the functionality. So everyone knows the function and what is function and how we can write the code for the function. So basically, combinedly, this will be called as an namespace. Namespace simply is nothing but one package. So let us write the code public static int add. So add is an a name of the function which I am giving and int num1 comma int num2. So these are the two values which I am going to strip from the user to perform the functionality. And simple statement, that is return statement I am writing and inside return statement I am adding those two numbers num1 plus num2 semicolon. So what this function will do, the two numbers as soon as it receives, it will make the addition of those two numbers and will return that addition at the to the stage at which this function is getting called. Now calling of the function and everything, those things are not the part of today's session. So how to call and when to call programmatically, that is different thing. But for now, we are going to call the function using Integration Studio and our Service Studio. That we'll see. So after writing the code, just con click on Control plus S to save it and click on addition 3, that is name of your function, and right click on build. It will compile and make the DLL files of your extension. Click on build. If any error is there, it will simply generate an error and show it to you. And if it is error free, it will start the build and finish it. So here we have successfully done the building of the application stage. Now, at this stage, you can either close it or keep open as it is. Now, what I have to do, I have to move towards the Integration Studio. Right. So here I am on Integration Studio. At Integration Studio, whatever the extensions which you have created in Visual Studio, and inside that extension, the functionality, right? We have written the function for addition of two numbers in Visual Studio. That function we are going to fetch over here. For that, what we have to do, click on Actions, right click on it, and simply click on Import Actions from .NET Assembly. So .NET Assembly, here we are going to fetch the DLL files of our code. Just click on Next, right? And here we have to browse the folder where we have stored the extension addition 3. And addition 3 extension is our name of the extension. Click on browse. So addition 3 is the folder. Click on it, click on source, click on net, click on bin, and what we have to search for addition3.dll, right? That DLL file we have to search within that folder. So NSS will be by default over there. So NSS addition 3. So NSS and your extension's name will be there. So select it and click on open and click on next, right? So within that, all the functionalities which are there will be shown to you, right? So within this extension, all these things are there. So we will not require all these things in our service studio. So whatever we require, we'll simply click on it. So here what we will require is add in bracket int comma int. So this function we are going to fetch over there. Just select it, click on next and finish. That's it. So now we have addition extension in our service studio, right? So next what we have to do, we have to move towards our service studio. So this is my service studio and I created one uh, reactive application and named it as an demo one integration. So this is service studio, right? Now what we have to do, we have to fetch that function which is inside integration studio in the service studio. So for that, what we have to do, we have to manage dependencies. So our extension name was addition 3. So here it is addition 3. Then it must be along with your functionality. Just wait a minute. Sorry for disturbance. So next what we have to do is we are going to fetch the functionalities which we have implemented in Visual Studio and fetch them in Integration Studio to our Service Studio. But before this stage, we have to do one step which we have missed. So that step is after fetching this functionality over here, what we have to do is we have to republish this extension. So we'll verify and do the publishing process once again. Right? Save, upload, and publish. Publishing done, close. Now what we have to do, we have to switch to our Service Studio. So this inside Service Studio, I have created one reactive application called as an demo one integration. And here I am going to fetch that functionality. So for that, we need to manage dependencies. And simply we have to search for our extension name. So my extension is addition 3. Right? And you can see that CSS addition 3 add is my extension. Addition 3 is my extension wherever, and whereas add is the name of the function. So simply click on it and apply. Right. So you can check that functionality whether it is imported here or not inside server actions. So here XIF folder is there or inside that functionality is there. And here we can check that num1 and num2 are the input parameters, whereas it is going to return the value of data type integer and addition of those two numbers it will return. So for that, simply what we'll do, we need to pass two numbers and fetch the value as an addition of those two numbers. So let us create one screen. So here I'm going to name it as an demo screen. Create screen created successfully. Then we'll add two numbers with the help of input widget. So input one, just wait a minute here for this input one. We name that local variable which will require to store the value which we are going to accept using this input widget as var1, var1, right? And one more widget will require input widget for accepting second value, that is var2, name 2, and here var. So both the variables will have data type as an integer, keep in mind. So integer and var2 integer. Then we'll require one button for executing the action on the accepted two values. So I will rename this button as an add. So inside add, what we are going to do. So inside that button action, what we are going to do is we are going to call that action. We are going to call that action. So you simply drag and drop that action, and these are the input parameters of that action. So what we have to do, num1 is equals to our first value, that is the var1, and num2 is equals to our second value, that is var2. So at this stage, we are calling that functionality and assigning or giving two input parameters. Next, what we have to do is get one assign widget, and one more variable will require on the screen to store the result. So we'll add a local variable of data type integer again. The local variable will rename it as an a result. Sorry, or ESULT, result, data type integer. And inside this assign widget, what we are going to do, output of this function, we are going to assign to the variable result. So here result is equals to this thing, CSS addition 3 add dot return underscore int 32, right? And on screen, we are going to fetch that value. So for fetching the value, we need expression. So fetching of the value at a runtime can be done using expressions. So just simply select the value inside the expression which we are going to fetch. So resultant value will be there, and click on publish. That's it. So after publishing, we will open it inside the browser. Just wait a minute. We'll finish within 2-3 minutes now. Uploading, compiling, deploying, and last stage. Done. Just open it in browser. I am continuing with sample user number, integer numbers 5 plus 5. Click on add 10. Second example, 8 plus 4, 14. Sorry, 12. So that's it. So in this way, you can create your own extension using C# as a programming language in Visual Studio. You can integrate it with your Service Studio with the help of Integration Studio, right? So step by step, if you need once again simple step by step explanation, be ready with your Service Studio, download Integration Studio, along with download recent version of Visual Studio with .NET 4.6.1 as a framework, and at first stage connect your Integration Studio with your personal environment, that is Visual Studio, sorry, OutSystem, the OutSystem environment, and then create your extensions, save that on any of the desktop folder, publish it, and for publishing we have to go through various stages, and last stage is publishing. Then open it in Visual Studio, write the required code in Visual Studio, save it, build it, right? Save it, build it. Then again come inside the Integration Studio, fetch the functionality by simply clicking on actions and right click on it and import action. So inside this, what we have to do, we have to search for the extension name .dll file. NSS by default will be there, and after that your extension name .dll. So this file where you will get it inside the folder where you have saved your extension, and republish this extension again using Integration Studio itself. After that, switch to Service Studio. So inside Service Studio, what we have to do? We have to manage dependencies and fetch the functionality, search the extension which you have recently done inside Integration Studio or saved inside Integration Studio. So it will be shown inside server actions inside XIF folder. So that action is here. And then what you have to do, you have to write, uh, create one screen and accept whatever the things are required to execute the function which you have written inside Visual Studio. So for this example, we need two numbers of data type integer. I am accepting those two numbers using input widget, and on button click, I am given action or fetching that action in the flow and assigning the result of that action to one variable called as a result. And finally, showing that result on screen with the help of expression. That's it. So if anybody is having any doubt, any query, you can comment below the video, or in the next session, all the doubt will be cleared. Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you.